Hello all, welcome back. Here we are going to discuss one more important thing related to event listeners, that is a remove event listener. Because we understand how to add an event listener for an HTML element, but it's very important that whenever it is not required in some situations, of course, I will come up with another video in which situations we should be very careful that we should remove the event listeners also. But right now in this video, I'm we are going to discuss that how to remove an event listener with the help of a remove event listener method. Okay, so let's jump into the code. And first of all, we should add event listener for this button. When I click on this button, okay, it should fire some event handler. And when I click on remove event listener, we should remove that event listener which we attach it to this button previously. So let's see with the example, then it's going to be very easy for us. So simple here, I have taken two buttons. One is a button one and another one is I didn't give any name because directly I'm just attaching event here. And the first button we are going to add a event dynamically with the help of event listeners. Okay, so here, so I'm taking directly document dot get element by id, and the id name is btn1. Hope you already done a practice how to add an event listener. So event listener, you should add a click event and you should pass a event handler or callback function at the same time. So what I'm doing here, I'm just creating a function here. I will tell you why I'm just creating function outside instead of just returning here itself. Okay, I will tell you the reason also in the end. So please follow this syntax whenever you want to remove an event listener by any chance. So here function, any name, uh, add my callback something for a simple, just given a simple name. I'm just giving like console.log blah 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 something. Okay, so here we are giving this function as a callback function, and it will be a event event handler for this button one. Okay, so once it is done, you will able to see that console.log message whenever you click on that button. That is a proof that we successfully attached an event handler to that particular button. So I click on, so we are getting the message like blah 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 here. I'm just clicking again, so we got the output three times, so right now 13 times. Okay, no problem, because it will push those many callback functions into the web API, and whenever you click on that button, it will push them into um, task queue, and whenever the call stack is empty, it's going to come into the call stack and it will execute. Okay, that's what we have already learned. So now I want to remove this event handler. Okay, suppose already if you have an event handler, so how we can remove that event handler with the help of remove event listener. Okay, sometimes this terminology is different, event handler is different, event listener is different, so be careful with that. So now what I'm doing, I'm creating a separate function. So for that, whenever we invoke this function, it will remove the event handler. So here same syntax, but only the difference is, instead of using add event listener, here we need to use remove event listener. Okay, remove event listener, that's it. So whenever we want to attach an event listener, just use add event listener and pass the event name and callback function. Here also same syntax, just remove event listener, the same time the same event name and same callback function. So now what will happen whenever you click on this button, whenever you click on um, this remove event listener button, so it will fire this function and it will remove this event listener on top of button 1 because we have given a reference that button 1. So after that, even if you click on this button, you can't see the console.log messages. So just refresh. So even we can add some console.log message that okay, we have removed event listener, that means successfully. So removed, okay, successfully something. So just refresh. Just click on. So we are getting blah 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 like 10 11 times. So whenever I'm clicking on this remove event listener, so the event listener has removed. Now if you click on this button, it should not print blah blah blah. Observe carefully. So I'm clicking many times, so we are not able to see. That means that has removed already in the web API. So this is the simplest way to remove an event handler for any HTML element. But why I'm using this syntax means, suppose if you see, if we can pass directly this as a callback function, so nothing wrong. Okay, it will attach that event listener. But here also we need to pass the same syntax, right? So but what happening, it is not removing properly. So if you see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 times, and after that remove event listener, okay, it is giving the message as event removed, but actually it is not removing. So if you see, we are getting the message, that means the event has not removed, because whenever we follow this syntax we are not able to find the exact reference of this function, this callback function. But so far I don't know how to handle this situation, but I will try to find, is there any way that even if we provide the call, if some, because most of the times we will follow this syntax, right? Even we don't give a name also. So if you see, if we go with callback function, arrow functions, and then we no need give we don't mention even name also. Okay, this is also perfect syntax for just a minute. Is there any syntax wise? Is there any wrong here? Hopefully nothing. Let me cross check one more time, because the color format is coming differently, that's why I got it out. So okay, no problem, it's looking good. So even if you give a same thing, it's not working. So just, so if you see, just refresh. So blah blah blah. So whenever I try to remove the event listener, remove, because we just give a console.log here, but actually it is not removing. Actually it's not removing. So if you see, whenever I click on this button, it's coming. So that means it's not removing. So that's why I'm suggesting, whenever you know that we want to remove that event handler sometime later, it's better to go with a regular this syntax. But yes, still we need to find the way, but so far I don't know. If you know, please let me know. I need to learn, because I tried sometime but I didn't find a right solution. But if you know how to handle with, even if we have pass directly we arrow functions or callback functions directly here, still we can remove that. Please let me know, because I need to understand that concept. Okay, that's all for this concept, and the next thing we are going to focus on fetch API, and we are going to understand how fetch API is going to work in the browser, and at the same time what is the importance of microtask queue, and later we are going to understand what are the promises, the most beautiful concept in JavaScript. So that's all for this session, and see you in the next video or session. Bye bye, thank you.